There are growing calls to strip Harry and Meghan of their royal titles. The New York Post is reporting that locals in the UK say enough is enough, especially after Prince Harry's disastrous BBC interview, which aired hours after he lost his appeal for taxpayer-funded UK.
You're in America now, and we don't give a shit about you. You're not our fucking prince. You'll never be king. We hate your wife. Stay at home in your $29 million mansion, all right?
Prince Harry was never meant to be a headline like this. One anonymous post at dawn claimed Montecito police radios lit up after midnight. Male, 40s, royal, unresponsive. Within minutes, #HarryDown ignited worldwide, spinning a tale of an ambulance roaring through eucalyptus-lined streets toward a palace-sized mansion. The man allegedly found limp on the marble floor? The Duke of Sussex himself.
I just can't stand her. I just think she's such a phony.
Harry's digging an even bigger hole for himself here.
Well, I think he's dug so deep now, he'll strike water any day now.
And the first person to reach him, rumor insists, wasn't Meghan. It was his lifelong protection officer, ex-Scotland Yard medal recipient David Langdown. Those are the whispers. No official confirmation, no hospital statement, only the roar of TikTok sleuths, Reddit theorists, and paparazzi lenses. Yet the timing of another sighting poured gasoline on the story. Meghan Markle was photographed that same night slipping out of the candlelit foyer of Santa Barbara's most exclusive club, laughing with friends, eyes nowhere near panic. Screenshot stamped 12:43 a.m., barely 10 minutes after the alleged medical call. The word echoing through Royal Watcher forums was savage. Alibi. Even if this Montecito meltdown proves folklore, it taps into a deeper vein.
Prince William is reportedly formulating a plan to finally strip Prince Harry and Meghan Markle of their HRH title.
The one Harry himself opened in Spare. Across those 410 pages, he didn't merely confess teenage rebellion. He unfurled a pharmacy aisle resume, cocaine at Eton, cannabis at Kensington, nitrous oxide canisters at his son's birth, and California psychedelics that made the Garden Lights sing. Honesty scored book sales and sympathy, yet it also triggered real-world consequences. A Washington, D.C. think tank is still suing the U.S. Department of Homeland Security to unseal his visa application, arguing that anyone who admits to drug use should be denied entry, unless perhaps a royal crest decorates the luggage tag. The case grinds on. Headlines sharpen. Strip away the Netflix gloss and Montecito sunsets, and a pattern emerges. Each chapter louder than the last. Rewind to 2007. A boozy private party near Gloucestershire ended with eyewitnesses claiming the prince snorted vodka, filling a shot glass, leaning in, inhaling the chilled fumes through a rolled note. Doctors warn that stunt shoots alcohol straight to the brain, risking instant poisoning.
Oh my God, I can't even. These two, Meghan and Harry, are the worst.
Tabloids flirted with the story, but days later, coverage vanished. Allegedly after palace lawyers placed polite yet pointed calls. Fast forward to Las Vegas, 2012. Grainy phone photos of a naked Harry cupping. Well, everything. During a late-night strip billiards game in a $7,500 a night suite. Back home, instead of grounding the wayward royal, Prince Charles reportedly installed a nightclub inside Highgrove. Padded walls, booming sound system, the works, reasoning that if Harry was going to party, better he do it within CCTV range. Containment by convenience worked, until it didn't. Enter Meghan Markle. Hollywood friends swear she embodies green juice wellness, but an older anecdote paints a looser portrait. At her 2011 Jamaican wedding to producer Trevor Engelson, she allegedly slipped hand-rolled joints into guest welcome bags. Giggling in emails. Already ordered them. Several attendees realized only at U.S. Customs that their souvenir.
She slaughtered this weekend because there were some business cards in the back of one of her podcasts. She's still using her royal title, HRH, despite our late Queen warning her against.
Could earn a court date. Hardly cartel territory, but it dents the Duchess's squeaky image and fuels today's narrative that she knows where to source. Royal aides, past and present, whisper about an enabling ecosystem. One former footman describes a well-oiled cleanup machine. We'd wake to photos of Harry staggering out of Mahiki. By lunchtime, he was in combat boots hugging wounded soldiers. The charity shot buried the scandal every time. Military sources go further. claiming surprise drug tests at Camp Bastion were postponed whenever the prince was on base. Another insider swears a helicopter whisked him away the moment inspectors arrived unannounced. No documents, just patterns, and patterns shout. Why the perpetual shield? Because the monarchy trades in myth. A prince wrestling with grief is relatable.
I think is absolutely infuriating in Buckingham Palace. It was agreed with Queen Elizabeth that they will not use the HRH title. That is a long-standing precedent, and there's good reason for it. Basically, the HRH is only given to working royals and senior members of the royal family.
A prince face down on a California bathroom tile is not. Yet the internet has democratized rumor. Palace gatekeepers can no longer spike every unflattering detail. Meghan's alleged Montecito exit only sharpened the knives. When royal reporters confirmed she'd been at the members-only club that night, one sniffed PR malpractice. A veteran correspondent texted a colleague 2 brutal words: "She's done." Behind closed oak doors, strategists are gaming nightmare scenarios. First, the visa question. If Harry's memoir is accurate, DHS could, in theory, revoke status. If he lied, perjury cliffs loom. Second, the marriage. Aides dread the optics of divorce if Harry's health crisis escalates, and blame pivots to Meghan. Third, the crown. King Charles is already waging cancer battles. A son in rehab could eclipse a monarch's recovery, fracturing public goodwill that the firm desperately nurses. And there's the money. Netflix deals, Spotify flameouts, book contracts, all pegged to Harry's marketable turbulence. If the prince disappears for treatment, revenue stalls. If he relapses on camera, brands bolt.
A new poll by Find Out Now has revealed that most of the public is supporting the king in this family feud, ongoing family feud.
Executives from streaming giants reportedly held late-night calls, weighing contingency edits to future docuseries. Nobody wants a season finale that turns into an obituary. Through all this stands David Langdown, the stoic ex-cop who's shepherded Harry since teenage polo matches. He hauled the prince out of Vegas, blocked drunk fans outside London pubs, and, if rumors hold, dialed 911 in Montecito. Langdown's silence is absolute, his loyalty legendary. Royal watchers joke he's the human version of Buckingham Palace's wrought iron gates. Unseen, immovable, always locked tight. Yet even he can't patch a life driven like an engine redlining long after the oil light blinked. Which drags us back to that rumored midnight. Maybe Harry merely fainted from dehydration. Maybe he never hit the floor at all. What matters is how believable the story felt. Audiences accepted it instantly because years of candid admissions, paparazzi snapshots, leaked court filings, and late-night talk show confessions made the tale plausible. That is the real crisis for the House of Windsor. Not one viral rumor.
After Harry's bombshell BBC interview, it follows the Court of Appeal's decision to not overturn the ruling on his security in the UK.
But a credibility curve bending inexorably toward chaos. And Meghan, whether she bolted for an alibi or honored a prior engagement may no longer matter. Perception is baked in. Fair or not, commentators brand her the handler, the architect, the liability. Palace investigators are reportedly combing 5 years of incident logs, every sudden leak, every mysteriously shelved headline, searching for fingerprints that spell manipulation. Lawyers quietly draft contingencies. Financial carve-outs, custody clauses, non-disparagement language ready to slide across mahogany tables if public opinion tips from amusement to outrage. Meanwhile, American talk shows debate humanitarian angles. Is Harry self-destructing or crying for help? Mental health advocates have stepped forward, arguing the prince's trauma, losing his mother under relentless flashbulbs, has never healed, only shapeshifted. One psychologist told Sky News, "You can't medicate childhood grief with privilege. You can only postpone the break."
So hard because she suffers from such a rare disorder of being unable to just be a human. Do you know what I mean? I've never seen this sort of before. I've never seen someone that struggles to just give us like one strip of authenticity. Because I know other women who are listening to this podcast and totally relate. When I have my girlfriends over and we're cooking, all of us are in full glam.
Social media sentiment echoes that compassion. The top-like tweet under # Protect Harry reads, "Get him therapy, not headlines." Yet Palace PR still favors optics over open admission. The official Sussex website posts glossy photos of Harry planting mangrove saplings. The royal family's feed spotlights garden parties at Buckingham. Meanwhile, Reddit threads unspool theories about intravenous vitamin drips and secret Malibu rehab clinics. The divide between curated branding and crowdsourced speculation widens by the hour, and every quiet statement of no comment sounds louder than an admission of guilt. Complicating matters further is the specter of American law enforcement.
Woke us all up. We're in the pursuit of joy. Love
I
is
can't
in the
take it anymore. Get out,
details.
get out, get out. Uncle, make it end. Make it end. What is this? Guys, I feel like I'm a very accepting person. Truly, I want to like something about her. I'm searching for something to like about her.
Santa Barbara County authorities have neither confirmed nor denied an emergency call-out, citing privacy codes. That vacuum breeds rumor. One podcast host claims a dispatcher friend overheard VIP down on the scanner. Another insists the call log was scrubbed within minutes. Without paperwork, truth dangles in limbo. Yet limbo is where conspiracy thrives. Still, beneath the circus tent of narrative stands a flesh and blood man. Harry watched his mother's casket roll past crowds at 12, marched behind it on broadcast television, and grew up inside a glass box labeled spare. He tried army discipline, wilderness therapy, EMDR sessions, psychedelics, and, by his own words, still wakes to flashbacks of camera flashes. If last week truly ended in ambulance lights, it isn't just another tabloid footnote. It's a klaxon blaring across decades of deferred healing. So here's the haunting question. What if the palace had confronted the spiral sooner? Without PR varnish? Without charity distractions? Could the prince have found stable ground? Imagine for a moment a royal communique in 2010 that read, "His Royal Highness is seeking treatment." Imagine mandated counseling instead of cushioned cover-ups. Would Montecito's eucalyptus groves be ringing with sirens today?
The critics.
Biggest stars and investors, where they were teasing their 2025 lineup. Meghan was nowhere to be found in the paperwork. She received a brief mention when she was the butt of a joke by one of the comedians.
As the California sun rises over terracotta rooftops, headlines will refresh. Commentators will shout. Hashtags will mutate. But the human story lingers. Of a royal born into untouchable privilege, now allegedly gasping on a bathroom floor while cameras rattle the gate. If Harry recovers fully, perhaps he pens a second memoir titled Broken Crown, a raw reckoning rather than a best-selling confession. If he doesn't, the monarchy faces a reckoning bigger than any Netflix cliffhanger, bigger than Diana's Panorama interview, bigger, even, than the abdication crisis of 1936. A rogue duke in mortal peril could reopen centuries-old questions about hereditary power in a modern democracy. Either way, the fairy tale rebel arc has cracked, revealing a simple, harrowing truth. Image can outrun reality for only so long before the mask shatters, and the cost is tallied not in retweets, but in human lives. Harry is not a trending topic. He's a husband, father, veteran, and undeniably broken son. And the palace he once called home must decide, protect the brand or rescue the boy? History suggests the crown chooses survival. Conscience whispers it may already be too late. What happens next is anyone's guess. An intervention, a rehab admission, a silence that fuels darker rumor, or a sudden divorce announcement couched in amicable terms. But here's a thought to leave echoing in the marble halls of Buckingham and the comment sections of YouTube alike. When an institution values optics over intervention, who really falls? The prince or the palace built to protect him?